Alright, welcome to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, hi. Welcome. Let me turn this down just a bit. This is interesting. That was weird. Wasn't loading the music. How are we doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I have a good reason for being late, yet again. Rats keep getting out. I woke up 4 different times last night to find the brain wandering around the house. Woke my girlfriend up at like 3:30 in the morning. I was rifling through the closet, pulling shit out. Had my flashlight on. She was like, "What are you doing?" Looking for a rat. I'm looking for a rat. That's what I'm doing. Every other time I found him, that was the only time I found him in the, like, closet. Every other time I just go out into the living room, and he's usually just sitting right on top of the couch, just chilling with the cats, hanging out. So it's also been a lesson in learning that my cats are useless. Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hi, Bowie. You can come up all the way. Cat. Anyways, I guess I should probably just start it, right? Let me pause it. Let me also take these off because they're like genuinely red. Like, this is what I think Cyclops feels like when he has to wear those ruby glasses so that he doesn't, kill all of his friends and family. They're just so red. They're like enormously red. I don't know how to describe the red that I see when I have those glasses on. It is like truly. It's not even rose tinted glasses. It's like hellfire red tinted glasses. Everything is so red. But let me switch over. We got some plans for today. Pretty much. I want to start off with this cult hiding in a national park. This stash is coming in nicely. It's completely unintentional. Any facial hair you ever see on me is unintentional. I don't like having facial hair. It's so itchy, it's so scratchy, it makes my face feel like heavier. And I just don't have any razor blades. And it grows in so awfully that like it's not even like worth it for me to grow facial hair. It's I have like a molecular problem, I think. Let me Am I too loud? If I move the microphone here, is this fine? Yeah, that's okay. Alright. So I want to start off with a cult hiding in a national park. The video caught my attention because I was playing the Fears to Fathom games before, and Ironbark Lookout is based on a true story, and there's like a cult in that national park. So I thought this might be related in some way, because when I was doing a little bit of Googling before playing Ironbark Lookout Fears to Fathom episode 4, that was the weirdest way I could have phrased that. When I was doing some Googling, I came across like Reddit threads that were talking about like people who had actually come across these, spooky guys. Someplace in Washington, I want to say. Glacier National Park, maybe? I can't remember off the top of my head. But after the video, I'm gonna play some I'm gonna play some trivia so that I can prove that I'm smart. I found a TriviaCreator. I think it's by the same people who do the tier maker, because it's listed on the website. So it'd be pretty weird if they're completely unrelated websites. With us? Am I playing trivia with you? I don't know. I don't even know if you can. It's just a bunch of trivia. It says play trivia online, solo, or something. Solo live versus friends, or live versus friends. So we'll see. I don't really know how that works. But if I can play with you guys, I will play with you guys. I won't discriminate. And then after trivia, depending on how long we've been going, I might knock out that last episode of... Not last episode, but the third episode of Walking Dead. If we don't have time for that, I guess I'll just play like Multiverses or something. Maybe Dark and Darker until we can get up to like 3.5 hours. But I've been dilly-dallying for too long. I just need to play the video. Let me make sure this desktop audio is on. And I turned it off all the way. Alright, cool. Very nice. Good job, Kaylin. Bosif, you know better. Every day, I look you in your big kitty eyes and I say, don't mess with that microphone. And what do? Every day, you mess with that damn microphone. Bowie, I'm moving this down so that I can speak into it, not so that you can... Bowie! I'll rip your cat head off. Just, dude, get on my lap. All right. You're crazy. You're crazy clingy. Get on my lap. Stay here. Just like a lay down. I'm going to move the microphone here, and you're not going to touch it. You're not going to move a damn muscle towards it. That's what I thought. Now what are the dogs freaking out about? What is going on? Jakey, stop doing... Oh my god, 1 second. He's gonna knock everything.
Then I woke up the next day and got some gabagoo. Keep waking up and keep getting different types of gabagoo. I even got some gabagoo from a Scooby. Woke up this morning, made an entire video game based on the Sopranos television series. Woke up this morning, got myself a sub. I believe Tony wanted a meatball sub.
Okay, problem's fixed. Run it, play it. Hold on. I know I said play it, and then I immediately paused it.
Nature is beautiful, but it can also be quite terrifying. Although we as humans would like to think that we have control over everything, nothing reminds us of our insignificance as much as nature's utter disregard for that sentiment. That is why nature must be respected. Despite this...
Disagree? We need to remove nature. In order to harness the power and keep us all safe, every single tree needs to be razed to the ground. Understand? You see a fish swimming through a pond, you pick it up, you rip that bitch in half. It has no regard for your life. You look up in the sky and you see the sun, start screaming at it. Fuck you, sun!
It's fairly common
I'm gonna disrespect nature.
for people to visit stuff like national parks and reserves.
Who would do that? Who would visit a national park? That's so fucking weird.
Recreationally, willingly placing themselves in situations where nature has the control.
I'm sorry. I know I've paused 4 times in a row now. What was this guy's plan? Why is it always like dudes with the with the like situational awareness and motor control of like a lawn chair that do shit like this? That dude took 1 step backwards and fell. He's staring down the jaws of an alligator while dangling food above its head, teasing the fucking alligator, you know, an apex predator. This motherfucker does not have the wherewithal to be able to take 1 step backwards without falling. Bro, you should not have even been there to begin with. You do not have the... Oh my god. You don't have the footwork to be able to do
Of
this.
course, this is because the infrastructure surrounding the park, such as the park rangers and the maps and the trails, make them
ACAB does not include park rangers.
feel safe. But what if the trail markings couldn't be trusted? What if there was a threat that even park rangers couldn't protect you from? Well, the analog horror series White Stag Education is a collection of 5 public safety announcements, all relating in some way or another to New Jersey's National Reserve, the Pine Barrens.
Is this gonna be some Jersey Devil shit? Cause I already know about the Jersey Devil. Has there been like a study done on New Jersey's water supply? Because there has to be lead in it. Like there's no way there's not lead in it. You're telling me this fucking place not only produced shows such as The Jersey Shore, but they also have a deviled human hybrid hiding in the Pine Barrens along with a cult. And then on top of that, everyone there is just like so fucking racist and homophobic. There's gotta be like enormous amounts of lead in the water.
The goal of these videos is to better inform the public about the expected safety risks that come with visiting the Pines. However, they also allude to something far more sinister hiding amongst the trees. Today, we're going to discuss every entry in the series so far, and afterwards, I'll try to put together the puzzle pieces to uncover the truth behind the mystery.
So this isn't a cult hiding in a national park? This is a fictional series, and you're just okay. No, I'll see where you go with this. I'll see where you go with this.
Welcome back. If not, hello. My name is Minaxa, and in this video, we're going to...
Do we get Nation Squid vibes? Nation Squid does this too, right? Where they have like the red head over the like body. They have like a VTuber thing going on. Cool, an ad. Come on.
The year 1995 wasn't just a turning point in the 90s, but also in the entire information.
Okay, I guess not. No, it's a real guy. For some reason, I thought... I think it is somebody else. Like... yeah, I gotta be.
To do a deep dive into white stag education.
So this isn't real?
The first video in the series
This is
titled
just...
Pine Barrens Hiking Safety. It begins by introducing us to the White Stag Education logo, and then transitions into a brief section crediting Dan Savy as the tape.
So this is just essentially like Local 58, but instead of news, it's National Park PSAs?
Creator in collaboration with Ocean County Parks and Recreation. Then we get to see the content of the tape itself. Hiking in the New Jersey Pine Barrens can be a wonderful experience, but it is not without its dangers. This tape will teach you the safe method so you can safely traverse the greatest trails on the East Coast. From there, we get introduced to the SAFE acronym that it describes, starting with S, stick to the trails. It then goes on to give out some pretty standard information about trailblazes, which are markings on trees that dictate the direction you should head on whilst on a trail. A single rectangle dictates the path will remain straightforward, 2 diagonal rectangles indicate a turn, and etc. The section ends by describing how all trails were federally mandated to be blazed as of 1968, and that you should never venture onto a trail with suspicious markings, or no markings at all, because
What counts as a suspicious marking? Because, like, if I'm not familiar with the national park system, or I'm, like, let's say I'm visiting Yellowstone for the first time ever. I don't live in Wyoming or Montana. I've never been to Wyoming or Montana. I've never visited any other parks in Wyoming and Montana. How do I know what a suspicious or like fake trail marker looks like? Is it just put up with like cardboard and duct tape? Trail 8, and it's written on like the back of a Pepsi box.
if you do,
Because I can't imagine. I can understand unmarked trails because I've stupidly, don't do this, but like I've gone off trails before. Not like crazy deep into the woods or anything. Nothing that's gonna, in my opinion, going to get me hurt. But you know, that's just like I'm speaking for myself in this case. Like, I'm not encouraging anybody to start going off trail because you won't get hurt either. So I can understand how you can end up off of a marked trail. I'm trying to figure out how you. I guess I'm not trying to figure out anything at all right now, but I'm confused by how you stumble across this suspicious trail. Like lined with bones and gore and goo.
you will never return.
Okay.
Moving on to the letter A, acquire equipment. The tape offers a checklist of items that you should bring with you.
Bear
It's all
spray.
pretty standard. Food and water, boots, and other appropriate clothing.
So population. 3,000? I mean, holy shit. They've gained 1,500 black bears in, what, 4 years? When was 2018? Oh my god, 2018 was not 4 years ago. Jesus Christ, 2018 was 6 years ago. Okay, so in 6 years, they've doubled. Huh. How common are bears in New Jersey? Jesus Christ, it looks like they gain like 1,000 bears per year. But where's their territory, you know? Oh, here we go. Previous distribution, expanded distribution. Sorry, what? Gross, Atlantic City. Gross. Gross. Can we just... Alright, genuinely, can we blast Atlantic City, like, into space? I think that might be good for the betterment of the East Coast. If we just... Can we just take Atlantic City and move it somewhere else? Okay, so there's like a lot of bears. At first I thought like maybe bear spray wouldn't be necessary, but I don't know. I wouldn't feel comfortable. I haven't gone hiking in New Jersey since I was 11 years old, but I feel like you might want to bring bear spray with you.
Having first aid, tools like a compass, a hiking knife, and a flashlight. It also makes sure to let you know that you should definitely carry a map with you, which you can procure at any given park visitor center.
That's literally just smart. Like anywhere you go. I went on a cross-country road trip last year. All the way out west. I went all the way to California, just like my forefathers did for that gold. But every single state I stopped in, I got a map. Because you don't know. I don't know how good my service is going to be. I don't know how good my battery charge is going to be. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if my phone's going to fly out the window at some point because maybe winds in Montana are stronger than before. And every national park I went to, even if it wasn't a national park, like I went to Monument Valley, most beautiful place I've ever been in my entire life. But you get a map. And then when you're done with the map, you know what you do? You keep it and you hold on to it for sentimental value. Now you have a souvenir as well for free. You have a free souvenir that's also useful. That will like keep you from dying.
Now we're on letter F. Fear the forest. The masked people have lived in the Pine Barrens for hundreds of years.
Alright, that's a bit of a jump. Alright, just remember, you gotta stay on trails, bring the right equipment, and remember, just, be fearful every single moment you are alone in the woods, because the masked people are here. You do have to remember that. Just keep that in mind. There are masked people who have lived in these woods for hundreds of years. We choose not to disturb them, but just know they will disturb you, so have fun.
An unholy entity holds dominion over the woods. Their oblations augment its strength. If you hear the whistling, you have stumbled upon a false trail.
Oh shit, that's a thing from the Fears to Fathom. The Fears to Fathom games. It was one episode. But it was like almost the same whistling too. I wonder if it was taken from these videos. Ooh, that's freaky.
E. Evacuate.
Okay, so these are like it just jumps halfway. Normal. Two of these things are not like the others. Evacuate. That's the last one. Just start running. Hey, I know you've stumbled across a suspicious trail, or you're either on a no trail at all or just an unmarked trail. So, best course of action, just start running through the middle of the woods. You know, just start sprinting full force through a bunch of trees. If you come across a stream, just hop over it, you know? Really make it as difficult as possible for the Rangers to find you again. Who found the footage?
Then the program thanks the viewer for watching and tells them to stay safe.
Was that dude just looking down at his feet the whole time? He ran right into the thing making the noise. He ran right into that guy. Oh shit, sorry. Like he full on checked him. It looks like a Batman mask, like if I'm being honest. Either that or like a rabbit maybe. Maybe bird? Can't really. Seemed like the other dudes were wearing like owl masks. God damn it. So maybe, yeah, that's like a Batman mask. Dude's just wearing a Batman cowl under a hoodie.
Then the program thanks the viewer for watching and tells them to stay safe. We're greeted once again by the White Stag logo, and the
Hi,
first
White Stag.
video ends. Well, for a video under 6 minutes, this first entry in the series certainly raises a lot of questions. It seems like whoever we were watching towards the end had not followed the instructions in the safety video and veered off onto what's described as a false trail. On top of that, we get to see these strange beings introduced to us as the masked people, who seem to be not so friendly inhabitants of the Pine Barrens.
Okay, so maybe it's like a plague doctor mask. Can't really tell. It's like a Batman cowl with extra shit on it. But I don't know, I'm a little disappointed that it's not real. You'd think that like a national park would be the place for a cult to hide out, but I thought maybe I guess if I had just read the description, that would have clued me in. At 24:22, I found it funny how they use a raccoon and a bluebird as the two andro examples. I think it's cleverly put in regular show reference. And they work at a park. That is fun. Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't know if they're hiding, obviously, but we would like that Reddit thread I came across where the person taking a picture of some dude just in like robes running across a road in the middle of like Glacier National Park or whatever. And then that other guy coming in to be like, I've seen them, they don't have eyes and they fucking hate your dog. But it looks like these guys have eyes and I haven't heard a dog yet, so I'm like way more scared of the the real cult, it seems. But what happens if I just Google cults in national parks? Ooh, whoa, I was here. What? True story. Let's read official. Oh, okay. Dude, this is scary. Huh. I'll read that after the video.
We also learn of a supernatural entity described as unholy, meaning that it's likely to be some sort of demon which maintains control over the forest. The masked people's sacrifices, or oblations as it says, simply make it stronger. I think this first video is a great introduction for an analog horror series. It's a very strong pilot. It does a great job establishing intrigue, even if it hasn't actually done anything particularly ambitious, aside from the fact that there are live-action costumes, which I think actually look pretty cool.
Do they?
Alright,
That was a dude in a Batman mask and a hoodie.
there are live-action costumes, which I think actually look
That's... I'm pretty sure I have that same... That's just a maroon hoodie.
pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and
What?
move on to the next tape. Christmas Eve Candlelight Service. The second tape opens with text accompanied by depictions of biblical figures as statues. The audio is that of a large crowd socializing. The candlelight service is being hosted by the Grandwood Church of the Pines.
I
The
wonder if
sermon-
these... So, I wonder if the people actually, like, making these videos are they even from New Jersey? Like, are they going there and actually, like, taking footage in the Pine Barrens and then going through and editing it, making it scary, spooky, you know? Because otherwise, I don't know. I'm not sure how impressed I am with this.
will be presented by Pastor George Robertson and recorded by Dan Sevilla and Luke Bale. If you remember from before, the previous tape was created by Dan Sevilla, so we have a recurring character for the first time. It then has a brief display of those given special thanks before the crowd quiets down and the sermon begins. Now, I don't think it actually has any significance to the rest of the story, but the
Why did I
first and
time you
last
out?
names
Because you made a super racist joke. What do you mean? Why did I time you out? Because you were just like straight up racist. That's why.
read vertically do spell out innocent and send help. How fun. At the beginning of the sermon, John
That's
3
not. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it spells out send help. Yeah, they wrote it that way. That's what they made it intentional.
send help. How fun. At the beginning of the sermon, John 3:16 is
Those aren't real people, man. That's a list that they put together so that it would spell out send help.
read, which is a very popular scripture describing God's sacrifice of his son as a means for eternal life. A bit later, though, the pastor speaks of scriptures from the book of Enoch, which is generally not considered a valid book by the vast majority of Christians.
Yeah, I hear
Since
it.
describes
I hear
the-
it in Ancient Aliens a lot. Like I constantly, whenever I'm at my dad's and he's watching Ancient Aliens, Book of Enoch is mentioned. I want to say roughly every like 4 minutes. I don't even really know what it's about, but I think it's just, I don't know. Is it Old Testament? Let's find out. Book of Enoch. I end up on a watch list. Yeah. But when does it take place? Great grandfather of Noah? Okay, so Old Testament.
The archangel Uriel speaking to Enoch about the fallen angels
Uriel.
who have, quote unquote, transgressed
Bro,
the
that's a
commandment of
dope-ass
the
name.
Most High God.
I'm gonna have a child name it
Basically,
Uriel.
Angels who were thrown out of heaven and then became stuck on earth because they disobeyed God. Once this passage is done being read, we transition to a strange camcorder recording that has no visuals, only audio. We hear two men speaking with each other, making their way down to a basement to encounter an unknown entity making otherworldly noises.
Why? No professional. Okay, I'm looking into this too much. Like it's not supposed to be real. It's not presented as real. I'm thinking about this too deep. I was just gonna say that like it's not very professional of them to put just an audio recording in a PSA like this. You'd think that they would like make the guys go back, or they'd send like different guys to go film it. They wouldn't just be like lens error.
One of the men approaches the monster with a firearm and fires a shot into it, but this only seems to make it angry, and
Oh.
then it kind of breaks free from its chains, and, well, I'll let you listen to the rest.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, man.
Holy shit! Be quiet. This will only take a second.
I didn't like their acting.
Shit! Fuck! Jesus Christ! Fuck! Fuck! Holy shit!
Okay. I'm kind of realizing now, I think it's not adults behind the YouTube channel. They sound like they're teenagers, and so I don't want to be too mean. But like, they don't sound very scared. They don't sound like they just came across an entity in a basement, chained up, making otherworldly noises. Oh, I don't like that screech. That was freaky.
If you're
I would simply just not go into that basement, I think. I think if I was in the woods and I heard otherworldly noises coming from an area that seemed to be, I'd assume, like an abandoned house, or like maybe a shack, something like that, I would simply not go inside.
familiar with Bible lore, you know that demons were all originally angels in heaven who were eventually cast down by God for aligning themselves with Satan or just doing bad stuff in general. Part of the bad stuff that some angels would do is go down and have children with human women.
Oh, yeah, Nephilim. Yeah. Now I'm remembering where the Book of Enoch comes in. Yeah. Now I understand why Ancient Aliens.
Obviously a big no-no. Considering that we were introduced to the concept of an unholy being ruling over
Okay.
the forest, if we try to connect
It's the Jersey Devil, though, right? Is the Jersey Devil a Nephilim? Is the Jersey Devil Nephilim? Is that how you spell it? Hmm. Doesn't really give me anything.
to that with what we just witnessed, it may be possible that the basement of the Grandwood Church of the Pines was harboring some sort of demon.
Wait,
Or at
is that a real church? I'm sorry, I gotta Google Grandwood Church of the Pines. Okay, so it's in Tyler, Texas. Pine Barrens. Oh, it is. I mean, kinda. So, I guess it's Jenkins Chapel. Huh. I mean, that doesn't look like the Jersey Devil. That looks like somebody trying to copy, like, Trevor Henderson's work.
the very least, it had something to do with a demon. The only group of two characters we know of thus far are Dan and Luke, with Dan being someone we already knew was familiar with the supernatural phenomena happening in the series. Therefore, we can likely assume that they were the two people in the basement, and Dan was probably the one with the gun who managed to get away. Luke, unfortunately, wasn't as lucky. I think it's...
How do... I mean... I guess it's... believable, but... I don't know. I didn't hear Luke dying. It didn't sound like anyone died. It sounded like both of them were like going like shit, fuck, shit, fuck, shit, fuck as they were like running upstairs. I don't know. I think it's pretty shitty of Dan, the guy with the gun, to let Luke die. Why not, like, start popping off shots into it while it's going after Luke? Why not, like, throw the gun at... Why not give the demon the gun? If you hate your friend that much. You know?
Rather suspicious that a church would be harboring something as insane as a demon or something to do with a demon just casually chained in its basement.
That's not suspicious at all. That's what churches are for, yeah? There was always some dude chained up in the basement of the church that I went to as a kid. Always. It was never the same dude either. Like, they would swap him out.
It's also suspicious that
That's not
the
suspicious.
church would casually read off passages from Enoch, which, as I said earlier, is not generally considered to even be part of the Bible.
I mean, aren't these just like cult? I thought this was a cult hiding in the national park. So it sounds like they're an apocalypse cult hiding in a national park that uses the church as their, like, congregation place.
I wish I could say more about this, but unfortunately the amount of information we have related to this tape is fairly limited. What I'm trying to get at is, all you need to know is, this church is sus as shit. It begins with a warning that the content contained within was not actually produced by White Stag, and it discourages the use of the product described in the tape. Because this message is not seen anywhere else in the series, we can assume that every other video was produced directly by White Stag in some form or another, except for this one. It also means that, despite not being inherently related to White Stag as...
So, is White Stag... I understand that White Stag is fake, but is White Stag this... for this specific Pine Barrens? Or are they, like, Jersey adjacent? Like, they cover all of Jersey? I guess it's not important. I don't really need to know that. It just confused me since they had, like, reached out to a third party, or they didn't reach out to a third party, but they have a third party video. It's not really third party. I don't know how to describe this without sounding like an insane man. So this fake company, White Stag, mainly produces their videos, but for this specific one, it was provided by a third party. So somebody else knows. So somebody else knows that there's got to be a cult in these woods, right? So why are like the police not involved in this? Right? Like, if they're getting other companies to send them PSA videos on like how to deal with this cult infestation, why not just like send a bunch of FBI agents in there? Or just, I don't know, nuke the Pine Barrens. We don't really need New Jersey. Again, like, I think I've been pretty clear on my Jersey stance. Especially, it's really close to Atlantic City. I think we could take out 2 stones with 1 bird. Wait. I mean, in a way, you know, bird is, I mean, a bird is what they say is like a plane. You've banned the word cult. Okay. There's other words I can use.
As an organization, it still has relevance narratively.
Somebody else knows about this weird religious group?
Intuitine, developed by a company named Genesis Technologies over the past 7 years, at least within the context of the original tape, I also think it's funny that a series with obvious biblical references would name an organization Genesis Technologies. How intriguing.
I wish I could talk to this guy just because I want to say, like, that's the point. That's why they named it that.
It seems like the goal of the drug was to improve the accuracy of human foresight. In other words, allow
Intuition?
people to see the future. From here, the tape describes 2 tests that were run with the drug and then talks about potential side effects. The first test was a trial done on mice, where a piece of cheese was placed at the end of a maze with randomly placed pitfalls.
That's a good looking mouse. Look at those ears. They're just so, like, round and cute. This is the cutest little thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
The control group, which was not on the drug, preferred to attempt a linear route to the cheese, which obviously would just result in them falling into the pitfalls. Without the drug, 0 of the 25 mice were capable of the advanced forethought required to make the decision to go around the...
That can't be true. Mice are way smarter than that. They would be able to figure this out. That's where my suspension of disbelief ends. A mouse would have been able to figure out how to go around a corner and not fall into a pitfall.
the pitfalls. The second group, however, was administered a 50 milligram
Like, I know they
dose
want
of
to
intuitin.
make the drug seem like this cool, super awesome wonder drug, but you can just, like, I don't know, let, like, one of the mice through. You can't be like, none of the mice made it. None of them. 25 mice were tasked with going around a corner to find a piece of cheese, and none of them could do it. If I ran the same exact experiment, I'm pretty sure, like, 20 out of 25 could do it. Maybe even, like, 24 out of 25. After the first couple see them fall into the pitfall, they're gonna go around. They're mice. That's like their whole thing, is mazes.
And in this case, 19 out of the 25 mice, or 76% of them, were able to successfully navigate the maze. The results are indisputable. The second test was a human trial. Similar to the previous test, it used 25 in the control group and 25 in the testing group. They were asked to guess whether or not a traffic signal would next turn green, yellow, or red. You would think that this has a 33.3% statistical success rate because it's a 1 in 3 chance. And that's pretty much what happened with the control group. 31.6% of the 250 guesses.
What? So, it's a blank stoplight like this? It just completely, it's like the lights are blacked out, and then it's just going to randomly... That's not a test at all. That's not intuition. Hey, this stoplight that's turned off, what color do you think it would turn on when we flip the switch? That has nothing to do with, like, intuition. That is a pure guess. I mean, and honestly, it should be like 100% green. Like, it should just start flashing green or flashing red. It shouldn't even go to yellow.
Were correct. The second group, which was provided with a 200 milligram dose of intuitin, guessed 100% correctly.
That's just not how science works. I know that it's a fake miracle wonder drug. But come on. Like, even Limitless's pill wasn't this 100% foolproof. And that was a movie and series based around a limitless pill. The whole point of that was this pharmaceutical.
Side effects that come with use of the drug are probably the most interesting aspect of this tape. Those who used the domestic intuitin pill reported strange, vivid, and lifelike dreams. often leading to paranoia and insomnia.
Ooh, I hate
Genesis
that.
Technologies identified
I've been having these really, really vivid dreams and like nightmares. I don't know if they're considered nightmares. I don't know how to describe them. They're just very vivid, and they've been reoccurring for the past 2-3 weeks maybe. And honestly, it's been freaking me out. There, I put on a hat. But my reoccurring nightmare has just been like this, where my fucking teeth are like too big for my mouth. They're either too big for my mouth or my jaw is misaligned. I don't know how to describe it, but I've like every night my teeth get stuck together and I can't open my jaw all the way. And I can't speak, and every time I try to speak, my teeth grind together like they're puzzle pieced in with one another. And I go to like open my mouth and I just can't like pull my teeth apart, and if I try, it like feels like they're gonna break. I have no idea what the fuck is wrong with me. All right, this has just been reoccurring for 2-3 weeks, constantly, almost every single night, honestly. I don't know if I'm like grinding my teeth in my sleep to do it, and like that's what's caused. Like I don't know if I'm doing anything in the real world to give my body this feedback to make me think that like I'm, you know, ripping my teeth out. But I am worried that I am doing something IRL to do that. Like maybe I'm grinding my teeth or something. I don't know. I feel like I need a mouth guard for when I sleep now, because I'm just so fucking worried. I'm so worried I'm gonna wake up without my teeth because of this weird ass dream I keep having. It makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. I haven't even seen like anybody. I've like tried Googling it too. I'm one step away from posting on like r/dream subreddit, being like, what the fuck does this mean, man? Like, please, can somebody explain this? Because I don't get it. And it's worrying me. It's starting to worry me. Ad starts in a minute 40. I'll just run it now, because... Yeah, I'll just run it now. I'll run it now. I gotta check to see that the rats are still in their cage anyways.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagoo. And then I woke up the next day and got some gabagoo. Keep waking up and keep getting different types of gabagoo. gabagoo from a Scooby. Woke up this morning, made an entire video game based on the Sopranos television series. Woke up this morning, got myself a sub. I believe Tony wanted a meatball sub. I think Paulie said that he wanted the ham and Swiss.
Classic. Now you guys may not know this about me, but I'm a
Oh, is
Bigfoot
this
head.
the
Okay? I'm a
Zapruder
big
film?
Bigfoot guy. I even have
Not the Zapruder film. The Zapruder film is JFK getting his fucking dome blown off. We're gonna survive this. Stay with me, okay? Look me. Alright, we're back from the ad. Let's run it.
A handful of these dreams to actually be premonitions of future events. Margaret Pendleton dreamed of a puppet show featuring 4 colorful puppets and a park ranger as its main characters. With the way she described it, it felt as if she had seen the show at least 100 times.
This is just an imagination, yeah? She's not, like, actually having a premonition that she's... Or, like, this is how The Simpsons was created, essentially. Just some guy has a dream one night where he fucking dreams that he saw an animated show with a fat idiot, his redhead wife, their 2 teenage kids, their talking dog, and a talking baby who wants to kill the mom. One day, someone had that dream. They woke up the next day and they started writing Family Guy. Someone just knocked over a fan. I wish y'all would stop. Anyways, back to Candle Cove or whatever the fuck.
Despite it not even existing, Henry Ledger dreamed of a meteor flying down from space and crashing near his home in Barnegat Township, New Jersey. With this information, Genesis Technologies was actually able to discover a new comet, and they named it after him, Ledger's Comet. Daniel Carpenter's dream had him standing in front of a group wearing animal masks.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's the best, that's the best one, for sure. Somebody has a dream where they have the potential to become like a children's television icon. Another one gets a comet named after him because he made a scientific discovery in his sleep. And the third guy dreamt that he got killed by a cult.
Standing around a hole in the ground.
Dude,
recalled
worst
the hole
fucking luck.
Emitting lots of heat, and he heard a melody in the dream that he would later transcribe. Merely 3 days after the dream, Daniel would have an encounter with 3 of the 5 entities depicted in the drawing that he made, though the hole he had seen in his dream was strangely absent. And with that, the video ends.
Well, yeah, if you only spot 3 out of the 5, and there's no hole in the ground, I think it's pretty safe to assume that wasn't what you dreamed of. You dreamed of a separate, further incident. This was the inciting event, you know?
When it comes to this particular tape, there's a few things that I want to save for
Oh,
later
fuck,
to
I said
talk
the C
about.
word, I just realized.
However, I think this melody in particular is very interesting.
That's kind of cool. They put some forethought into it, you know, when they made that first video. Or maybe when they made the third video. I'm not really sure, but should have only lasted like 5 minutes. It doesn't give me a time. It just says that I have to do it, you know? It doesn't give me any time. Oh well. Yeah, so it's 100%.
If we pay closer attention.
So, ooh, I wonder if is the call responsible for white stag education? Because that's the mindset I'm on right now. Is it seems like they're also producing these videos to maybe, I mean, like, they're not producing them in the real world, is what I'm saying. They're, like, fictionally, this channel is run by the cult within the videos that they're warning you about. But instead of it really being a warning, and it's more of like a marketing strategy for the cult, this fake cult, you know? Does that make any sense, how I just described that? Like, imagine if Quahog Brewery had a YouTube channel. And then imagine that the Quahog Brewery YouTube channel started just being like really, not starting being really weird, but where they're like producing videos on safety, on like how to safely navigate the brewery. But also there were like so many dog whistles within the video of brewery safety that it seems like maybe they don't really want you to be safe. You know? Does that make, I think I made that more confusing with that analogy actually.
Attention to the drawing that Daniel provided, we see that there are 2 owl masks, 1 rabbit, 1 wolf, I think, and the one in the back, the black mask. I think it's another bird, but I'll probably just call it the black mask.
Yeah, I think, okay, so the black mask guy is the one that is the first guy we saw at the beginning, yeah? So they got a Donnie Darko, they got 2 members of Batman's Court of Owls, and one of the dudes from A Night in the Woods. That's a great game. I'm just like looking to see if I can pick up like any other details in this picture. So he's the guy who thinks he's a wolf, yeah? Okay, I guess that makes sense. But is the one with the black mask a leader? Because they all the other ones have white masks. So is he even? And I know they keep saying these guys are humanoid too, and I feel like they've been, so they aren't human. So is this guy the demon that got shot in that basement, or is this, or would this guy be like a vessel for the demon?
Crazy thing is, we actually got to see both owls and the black mask in the very first video.
Yeah.
Which showed someone
There's-
having an encounter with these creatures.
There was one in the
Therefore,
background.
We may be able to assume that we were actually watching the violent encounter Daniel had 3 days after his stream. Though I do believe that...
Oh! That's Dan. That's Savi. That's the guy who shot the demon in the second video. So Now I'm confused. What order were these produced in? Or I guess shot in?
Along with Margaret and Henry, are probably just children, considering they were asked to describe their dreams with crayon drawings. It would be kind of weird if a child was in the forest with a camcorder and had an encounter with the strangers alone, but who knows? In order to learn more about how these intuitain field dreams are going to affect the story overall, we'll have to move on to the next tape, Stranger Danger Puppet Show.
Those were the puppets from the, from what was Margaret? From someone's drawing.
If you couldn't already tell, this puppet show...
Yeah, alright, I'm a fucking
is
genius!
the show that Margaret Pendleton described in her dream. The show was created by Luke and Dan, which is quite interesting, considering what we saw happen with them at the end of the Candlelights.
I'm pretty confident that Dan is Daniel. Daniel? You know, instead of like damn Daniel. You know that joke from 10 years ago? When was damn Daniel? That had to have been close to 10 years ago. Jesus fucking Christ. It was 8. 8 years ago. But I'm pretty sure Dan is Daniel. I know that minaxa was saying that Daniel's probably a kid, but I don't know. I think they just had... I think the crayon drawings are just for like... how do I describe it? Aesthetic purposes? Yeah? Just because like a crayon drawing is a little creepier. But I'm pretty sure Dan is the Dan from the first and the second video. Plus, he's the guy who had the dream/nightmare about running into the cult. And the big hole in the ground. And then had, you know, the violent encounter. The violent encounter is shown in episode 1. Episode 2 might be filmed beforehand. And maybe them shooting the demon in the basement has caused the cult to become a little more hostile towards them, and that's why Dan is attacked in episode 1. It's like non-linear storytelling, you know? It's a real Tarantino of a film.
Tape. We can probably assume that this takes place before that, then. The show begins with the yellow puppet Rex befriending the viewer and inviting them on a camping trip.
Dude, I don't want to be his friend.
They'll even get to meet Ranger Luke, which we can assume refers to Luke Bale. Rex leaves, and Anna, the pink puppet, enters and questions if the viewer is a stranger.
This picture down here is giving me the heebie-jeebies. It's totally normal. It's like a totally normal childhood photograph. It's just the only thing that's real.
Rex and Anna decide to go ask Ranger Luke, since he knows all about strangers. After arriving at the camping spot, Anna and Rex meet up with Luke, who looks at the viewer and says that the viewer doesn't look like a stranger to him. He asks the puppets if they remember how to spot a stranger, and since they say no, he breaks into a song about how to spot a stranger.
Say, do you guys remember the ways to spot a stranger?
Well,
Not really. That's alright. We'll learn together with our new friend.
Yay!
Yay!
I'm looking at a dead man right now. He doesn't know it, but he's gonna die in a basement from a demon. You can almost see it in his eyes, too. He knows something's gonna happen. Just biding his time in the forest. Honestly, he might think that these two are gonna, like, turn around and kill him. He just, like, placates them by pretending to be nice. He's just never sure when they're gonna snap. You gotta watch out for puppets, man.
The song is about Little Red Riding Hood walking the trails to visit her grandmother. Briefly shown are two illustrations of a trailblaze and a suspicious hole in the ground, kind of like the one we saw in Daniel's drawing. Then
That is exactly the hole in the ground from Daniel's drawing. There was a guy here, a guy here, a guy here, a guy here, and a guy here.
Red hears what sounds like birds whistling, but she doesn't see any birds, which means it's the masked people. She realizes she's on a false trail and turns around.
Stranger danger when they are around. Tell the park ranger, stranger.
It's a nice voice.
Danger, don't trust the big bad wolf. Little Red arrived with her basket of bread. There was no sweet granny lying sick in her bed. It was too late, Granny locked the door. Red saw her face, it wasn't her.
Yeah.
Well, that was something. From here, Luke finishes the song with one last chorus. It might have been scary as hell, but at least it was a banger. We cut to see...
That's what I'm saying. That was a good song. That was a good song. It was nice. His voice was pleasant. I can fuck with the banjo, even if it isn't a little green frog playing it. He looks like he could do a mean Kermit impression, though.
Two other puppets, Gleason and Oswald, wandering a trail in the woods.
They're gonna die.
To follow a trail that led to the oldest tree in the woods, but since they weren't using a map, they accidentally stumbled across a false trail. This is when we begin to hear strangers whistling.
Ruh-roh. They're gonna die. They're gonna die. They're gonna die.
It's okay. Do you hear the melody? That means the strangers aren't hunting. Well, as long as we stand still and be quiet, we'll be okay.
So they have different whistles for if they're hunting or not. I mean, that's helpful for everybody in the forest. At least they're like courteous.
So, if
Okay.
you didn't have the captions on, you would have missed a really crucial detail here. When we begin to hear the growling and the screen started to shake, the subtitles read, "Strangers harmonize and the adversary surfaces."
What? So is the adversary like the big bad demon that they're worshiping? Oh. I wonder if the cult members are actually doing any of the killing at all, or if they're oh, what's the word? They're like summoning, or if they're like summoning the demon to do the killing. They find the people, and the whistling is like a ritual to summon the adversary.
Who
That could
the
be cool.
fuck is the adversary?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Who the fuck? When did this guy show up?
We're about to find out. We hard cut to a new section featuring a pig named Mr. Gungus. The goal is to play a game called Spot the Stranger.
He looks
in
like a
which we
Mr.
see puppets
Gungus.
with frightening resemblance to the masked people being used for this child-friendly demonstration. Finally, at the end, it says, "Can you spot the adversary?"
What the fuck?
It writhes beneath the forest. A strange melody begins to play in the background during this section, which is when the captions tell us the adversary is lamenting. I'm pretty sure that the song playing in the background is a slowed version of the Stranger melody, just as a fun fact.
Huh.
Before we cut back to Mr. Gungus, a frame of video reads, "The burning swords protect us." More on that later. Mr. Gungus thanks the viewer for playing his game, and we cut back to the
So what was the
campground
difference?
as a fun fact.
Can we
The
spot the
background for Sacred
difference?
Bloody says,
I don't see a difference. Is the one on the left, since we've like seen that mask kind of before.
Can you spot the adversary? It writhes beneath the forest.
I love that that's just a dude with
A
a
strange
long
melody
sock on his
begins to
hand going
play
like
in
this in the
background during this
forest.
section, which is when the captions tell us the
Two buddies went out into the middle of the woods and then brought pantyhose with them, shoved his entire arm inside of it, and they went, hey, can you get down? How about this? You get down behind that log, maybe poke your arm up above it, and just kind of do like a little snake slither in motion like that. I think that could look pretty cool. They slapped the grainy filter on it. They did some color correction. Two of them are sitting around the desk. They're like, holy shit, that actually looks pretty good. That actually looks pretty good. And you know what? They weren't wrong. It's so simple, but it's like effectively creepy.
adversary is lamenting. I'm pretty sure that the song playing in the background is a slowed version of the Stranger melody, just as a fun fact.
Wish I knew how to
Before we
read
cut
music.
back to Mr. Gungus, a frame of video reads, "The burning swords protect us." More on that later.
So what is some
Mr.
like
Gungus-
Doctor Strange shit? Burning swords protect us. Is there like runes keeping the demons at bay?
Thanks the viewer for playing his game.
all the park rangers carry around flaming enchanted swords. The National Park System got rid of handguns, tasers, bear spray, and instead you are given a flaming sword.
Campground after nightfall. This time, Luke is accompanied by all 4 of the puppets. Rex and Anna talk about how they went fishing, and Gleason and Oswald talk about how they went hiking. Then they share their encounter with the strangers with Luke and the others.
Ooh.
We're trying to find the oldest tree in the forest. We got lost.
And before we even knew it, it was too late. We heard the strangers whistling.
And what did you do?
We stopped, stayed quiet, and when we couldn't hear the song anymore, we turned around.
Great job, Gleason and Oswald. Now, what would you have done if it wasn't a song they were whistling?
Are they not going to tell them about the adversary that appeared? This new creepy-ass character that they've just introduced? They're not going to bring that up to the park ranger? I feel like that's way more, that is way more prevalent, time-sensitive information. We know about the strangers. We are just now finding out about the adversary.
We would have closed our eyes and ran away.
Great job!
To end the episode of Forest Friends,
We would have closed our eyes and ran away. That's just bad safety for Forrest. Again, I know I said it at the beginning of this video, but why are they being instructed to close their eyes and just like run like aimlessly into the woods? Just to make it as like hard as possible for any ranger to find them in the future. They could have been saved if they had stayed where they were, but no. Ranger Luke told them to just close their eyes so they can't even see where they're going. They don't know what landmarks they've passed, anything like that. Just close your eyes, hop over some rocks, vault over a stump, come across a stream, swim through it.
Ranger Luke says to always remember that strangers have no regard for your well-being and to never follow any of them into the woods, no matter how friendly they might seem.
That is good
Great.
advice.
Then we get perhaps the most...
Like, even if they're not wearing a mask, just don't follow strangers into the woods. And that goes for like if you're following a stranger into the woods, they don't know you're there, you probably shouldn't be doing that either, you know? Like, don't be on either side of that coin. Don't follow strangers into the woods, and don't follow strangers into the woods. Keep a respectful distance between the two of you.
revelation of the entire series. All of the puppets were named after 4 dead children from the Grandwood area.
Oh,
Ryan
shit.
Rex Michaels, Samuel Gleason, Oswald Jones, and finally, Anna Carpenter, presumably the sister of Daniel Carpenter from the previous tapes.
Oh, I'm fucking stupid. They gave Daniel's last name, and it's not Civi. I thought Kid Daniel. Okay, never mind.
Based
No,
on
go
the
on.
information we just learned, we can pretty easily say
Oops.
that this program
That's
was
my bad.
likely Dan and Luke's attempt at a family-friendly approach to informing kids about the strangers after 4 local children fell victim to them.
Well,
It
no
really
shit.
does
Yeah.
seem like both Dan and Luke have been very well informed on the things happening in the Pine Barrens for an extended period of time. We've seen their names come up time and time again. A few neat details I want to quickly point out before we move on. In the opening scene inside the house, there's a framed picture of Anna Carpenter
Oh!
and an angel statue.
That's why it was fucking putting me off so much. Not only was it the only real thing shown, but it had, like, kind of fucking angel statue right next to it with a lit candle. Of course she's dead. Why didn't I pick up on that? Like, no shit, she's dead. Heaven's gained another angel, I say after my neighbor's 6-year-old daughter was ran down by a drunk driver.
Alright, now we've finally arrived at what is currently the final tape, Grandwood Park Ranger Training. This final tape
Is this gonna be the
actually an
scariest?
employee training tape for new hires at Grandwood Park.
Dude, if I don't
It
shit and
follows
piss
a man
myself.
named Ranger Craig, as we learn about
Hi,
the
Ranger Craig.
procedures that park rangers must follow to keep park guests and themselves safe and sound. Although the opening to this tape is very cheery and upbeat, that sense of security quickly fades, with the warning that soon follows. You may now choose to resign and leave the Grandwood Ranger program, or
Sub alla angeli. What is that Latin for? Sub alla angeli. Under the wing of an angel. Why does this stag have wings? What is this, some sort of Pegasus? Some sort of Pegasus? Pegasus? You cannot resign later. That's not legal. You can't do that. You will be working for us for the rest of your life. No, I think I simply won't show up for my next day at work.
or continue with your training. If you choose to resign, notify your training supervisor immediately. You cannot resign later. The contents of this tape are highly confidential.
So they just make you sign an NDA when you resign. They don't make you just never not resign. That's not how it works. This isn't indentured servitude.
This
You're a park
is your
ranger.
final warning. Depicted above this block of text is a white stag with wings, accompanied by Latin text that translates to say, "Under the wing of an angel."
Hey, I just googled that. I just did that. I figured out Latin.
From there, the video proceeds similarly to the first tape. The first section covers environmentally sensitive and unsafe areas. This section expands upon the idea of false trails that we've heard of previously. We then briefly see a stranger, and the narrator says that rangers should not hesitate to aggress anyone that refuses to leave the false trails. We also learn that the
Why is that dude's leg just out? He is bearing it all. This is like what women in the 20s had to do to hitchhike. Yoo-hoo! 7 cars crash. Someone passes by, they go, "Awooga!" I do like that the guy's mouth is
anyone
moving,
that
though.
refuses
That's kind
to
of
leave the
cool.
false trails.
He kind of looks like Darth Plagueis. Yeah? Guys, I think Darth Plagueis is in these fights.
We also learned that the strangers will go as far as to make fake trailblazes, which rangers can cross-reference with their master map to then get rid of if necessary. Section 2 talks about tempting sights and sounds. As you might have guessed, this refers to the whistling sounds that the strangers make. We get to see an artist.
Chloe, what the hell are you doing? Is this the more? Okay, this is Mordecai and Rigby.
As you might have guessed, this refers to the whistling sounds that
Stranger. Homo personatus. Ooh, okay, so... Wait, I'm still confused. Are they not animal masks, or are they, like, anthropomorphized animals? Worshipping demons. Because that makes less sense. That makes less sense than... if they were humans wearing animal masks, but no, they're animals that look like humans that we think are wearing masks, but they're really just like a different species entirely? Okay, no, I can fuck with that. That makes sense.
make. We get to see an artistic depiction of.
Can you explain to me how a raccoon whistles though? Because they don't have lips. I am interested in figuring out how this raccoon is whistling melodies. Can raccoons whistle? They can. What? They may whistle like an owl? That's like peak whistling. You don't get better than whistling like an owl. What? Is there whistling noise? Oh, he's so cute. I want one. I want one so fucking bad. The window's open. You can come in. Come on. Hi, little guy. Huh. Well, I'll be damned. They do be whistling.
Of them, along with a Latin name, which can directly translate to masked person, but the word personatus can also mean assumed, pretended, or counterfeited.
Ooh.
Then expand.
I like counterfeited the best. A counterfeit person. I've never heard of like an android or a synth or like any sci-fi adjacent term for like a doppelganger. I've never heard them like described as a counterfeit person. But I'm gonna write that down and I'm gonna use that in something someday. The counterfeit people.
Expands upon the two different types of whistling patterns that we've heard so far.
A distinct melodic pattern signifies a feeding gambit is underway.
So that's when they're hunting. A feeding gambit is when they're hunting? And that's when you're supposed to close your eyes and run? Or is that
melodic whistling
the other one?
signifies a feeding gambit, which possesses no immediate harm. As long as you stay on the correctly marked trails, this should be perfectly fine.
Oh, okay, never
The
mind.
tip even says that investigating feeding gambits is not worth the risk. Section 3 refers to when safe areas become unsafe. This portion describes the rare case in which a hunting gambit occurs on normally safe sections of Grand.
Okay, so there's hunting gambits and feeding gambits. Feeding gambits are when they're feeding. Hunting gambits are when they are hunting. So if they're feeding, it's kind of like, it's not advised to be around them, it sounds like, but they're like distracted. They're being fed, so they aren't like actively hungry and viewing you as food, I guess. That makes sense.
That may be under your jurisdiction as a ranger.
It's like coming across a
Hunting
bear.
gambits are known for their more erratic whistling patterns, lacking any melodic coherence seen previously.
This whistling is how they communicate. Refer to your handbook for more information regarding how to further decipher stranger whistling.
So the fact that we haven't seen Ranger Craig in any other... Bowie! Stop eating my headphone cords. I will kill you. I will kill you. Like a dog. But you're a cat, so I'll kill you like a cat. But Ranger Craig is like 100% dead, yeah? We haven't... Bowie! He's 100% dead. We haven't seen him in any other videos, nothing. He is so dead. He probably dies in this fucking ranger training.
From here, rangers are expected to report the ongoing hunting gambit to the park headquarters, which will then cause an alarm to sound throughout the park, informing all other rangers to evacuate their areas. After a head count takes place, any people unaccounted for must be searched for, and all rangers will be dispatched to subdue the hunting gambit.
Why is this not a thing all the time, you know? Why are rangers not just like immediately, guns drawn, blasting away into the woods?
Even after being dispatched, rangers are told that finding any of the missing people they're searching for is unlikely. This is because the strangers don't retreat unless they have enough sustenance, or if they've suffered many losses themselves.
Many
Since they hunt
losses?
in groups,
I thought there was like
resisting
5.
or running away is generally futile.
When you encounter a stranger, do not hesitate to aggress.
Shoot him. Shoot him right in the face.
Do not cease fire, no matter how human their cries sound.
So they aren't humans.
They have surrendered their body to the forest, and you are doing them a service by freeing their soul.
So what happens if you take off one of their masks?
The narrator of the tape ends this section by telling ranger recruits that they should feel no guilt, no matter how human they sound. They're doing strangers a favor by freeing their souls from the forest.
I mean, it makes sense, yeah.
Congratulations!
Like, even if they aren't freeing their souls from the forest, you know, these strangers are actively hunting tourists. And just, like, hikers. So, no, yeah, I like, wouldn't feel bad if a park ranger just started blasting away.
To end the tape, we see rangers Dan, Luke, and Craig, Dan being the one that was narrating the whole time, all wave
He's the one in the
goodbye,
middle, yeah?
and thus concludes Granwood Park Ranger training.
Craig is so
Even
dead.
though I think the puppet show tape is more well made just because of how ambitious it is, I think this might be my favorite episode of White Sag Education so far. They have a dedication to using almost entirely practical effects and costumes that I really heavily respect, and it honestly looks pretty good.
Well, what are they
Craig's
gonna do,
acting in this
animate it?
tape also really shows the mortifying experience that dealing with strangers really is. I feel like White Sag is doing a lot right, with just the right mix of horror and mystery to keep me hooked. I'm sure it'll get even better in the future, but for now, unfortunately, this is where the tapes end.
Is
Now
it
we can
still
move
where it
on
ends?
to the analysis.
Is it still done? Or have they added more? I think that's probably it, right? Yeah. So, do they have... So, it's created by After 10 Productions. Do they have... they have a Discord. I won't check out any of that. I wish they had a website, so I don't have to sign into fucking Instagram.
So, before we try to establish a timeline of events, I'm gonna need to talk about a few details that I've not mentioned yet. Alongside the videos being released on the White Sag channel are
Okay.
also very
Before
a timeline of
I'm gonna do a timeline events right now. So, park ranger safety training. That's probably the first one that got filmed, because you know we're seeing Craig. He's still alive, and he hasn't been mentioned at any other point in any of the other videos. Honestly, it probably goes backwards. They're probably just released in seceding order. Or preceding? Seceding. Right? Or I guess this one would have to come first. So maybe it's this, the park ranger training, the intuition drug goes next, stranger dangers third, and then I think it just goes like that.
Events, I'm gonna need to talk about a few details that I've not mentioned yet. Alongside the videos being released on the White Sag channel are also various community posts sporting black and white photos captioned in Latin that tell stories of their own. The first of these translates to "the fiery sword was turned into stone." The image shows the two strangers donning owl masks. The second one, which teased the Stranger Danger puppet show episode, says Margaret Pendleton's dream came true. The third post is a continuation of what was said in the first. The fiery sword is turned into stone, and the star of heaven is guilty.
Jesus.
The image associated with this one is a cropped newspaper article describing the death of Luke Bale.
Oh no, Christmas morning. He was 23. That's how old I am. He was well known for his role as Ranger Luke in Friends television series created by him. Someone, probably Craig, Dan CV, Bound CV, Lobby, Protect New Jersey Land. Oh, there's something about the Jersey Devil here. Turn of the Jersey Devil after a recent uptick in sightings. There's been a noticeable hiatus between reported sightings of the Leeds Devil for the past 6 months. This is weirdly formatted. You can like read pretty much all of it despite it being cut off. It's like they typed it and then moved it over a bit so that you can still get a lot of info.
Noting is that the headline claims he was murdered and that this did happen on Christmas morning, meaning Luke did actually die during the events of the second tape. The other side of the newspaper talks about recent sightings of the Jersey Devil, reported by the South Jersey Cryptid Society.
Yeah, just saying, I called this at the beginning.
Large 6-month gap in sightings until they were seen plentifully over the weeks leading up to Luke's death. Although the text is cut off, it seems to imply that the group was founded by Tim Grega in April of 1983, and this is the first time we have any sort of date to refer to in the entire series, aside from the fact that trailblazers were mandated in the late 60s. Finally, the most recent post, which teased the training tape episode, says, "The white deer appreciates its companions." I believe that the fiery sword and star of heaven are metaphors for characters in our story, whilst doubling as references to the Bible.
So is the fiery sword Luke?
Garden of Eden, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with,
Never heard of it.
Famously known to be protected by an angel with a flaming sword. The star
Oh.
of heaven being guilty could be referring to the adversary, which seemed to be responsible for Luke's death, who could be the flaming sword protecting the Pine Barrens.
That's
Or
right.
It could be referring to the comet that Henry Ledger foresaw. Who knows? For one final detail I stumbled across while getting close to finishing the script, I went onto After10's Instagram, and the descriptions of their posts all but solidify that there's demonic activity.
The story of the Jersey Devil and its subjects. Knew it. I knew it. The demon's the Jersey Devil. I called it right at the beginning.
And the Jersey Devil and his subjects are at play. So yeah, that's nice to get out of the way. It's confirmed. The story is definitely dealing with the Jersey Devil.
Knew it.
Now that we have the pieces...
As soon as Pine Barrens was mentioned at the beginning, I immediately called it.
Try to put together a timeline of events so we can see what's really going on here. Since the story is definitely running with the idea of the Jersey Devil, which I think is just the adversary, We can assume that whatever biblical lore is meant to happen came far before anything else we get to see in the series. We also know that the strangers have lived.
No shit. You're telling me this series doesn't take place in the BC?
In the woods for a really, really long time. It also
It's
feels
just
easy
hundreds
to
of
place the
years.
Intuitain
Hundreds of years. Alright, they've lived in the forest for hundreds of years. Christ was thousands of years ago. And that was just the time of Christ. That's not even Old Testament shit.
drug trials as the first events we actually get to see described, seeing as it wasn't even produced by White Stag and had at least a 7-year history associated with it. At some point during the Intuitain trials, it finally made its way to store shelves in the form of a domestic pill, which had a notable side effect of allowing people to have vivid dreams acting as visions of the future. Daniel Carpenter dreamt of a violent encounter with the strangers. Margaret Pendleton saw a puppet show that had yet to exist, and Henry Ledger saw a premonition of a comet landing somewhere near his home. The other two events had eventually come to pass, but the comet, which was discovered thanks to the Intuitain drug, is still out there. Sometime before the puppet show would become a reality, 4 children would be either murdered or go missing, probably because of the strangers, and they would go on to be known as the Granwood Four. Included in those 4 is what I believe to be Daniel's sister, Anna. The reason why I believe it to be his sister is because the illustrations in the Intuitain video seemed to all be kids' crayon drawings. The Granwood Four
I guess
would
that makes
live on,
sense.
represented by the Puppets and Forest Friends, which seems to be a program to teach children about the strangers in the forest. This is where we learn about the adversary which writhes beneath the forest. I believe the large holes that we see have something to do with the stranger's method of sacrificing to the adversary. I believe the next event on the timeline.
I don't know, because they said that there was like a great heat. What are you doing, BJ? What are you doing? Are you eating my orangutan? Stop eating my orangutan. You good? You good? You good? Smacked my knee. It's fine.
Timeline is the recording of the Ranger training tape. A minor detail I noticed that I hadn't pointed out yet is that we can see the camping ground used in the Forest Friends episode while Ranger Craig is searching for strangers. This is what leads me to
that's
believe
kinda
that
interesting.
This takes place at least after the Stranger Danger episode of Forest Friends. The first tape is the hardest to place in the timeline, since it lacks any meaningful overall narrative information, and more or less acts as an introduction to the series. All we really know is that it had to have been made after 1968, since that's when trailblazers were mandated to be required on every trail, and it says that. But in reality, it was probably made somewhere in the 80s. There is one strange detail that could give us a little insight, though. In every other episode that includes them, Luke and Dan are both noticeably involved. I have 2 possible explanations for this. The first possibility is that Dan may have been a ranger for longer than Luke and simply made this tape before Luke showed up. The second possibility is that Dan made the tape after Luke's death. I honestly think both possibilities are equally plausible, just because of how little we really know. It's also interesting to note that this is the only episode that references the Ocean County Parks and Recreation as a relevant organization, but I honestly don't think it means much. This leads us to another instance in which I can place the Christmas Eve candlelight service tape either before or after the first tape, but it's certainly the farthest we've gotten narratively. It takes place at least after 1983, since the newspaper detailing Luke's death talks of a cryptid society being founded in that year. But considering the wording used is 1983 and not last year.
Yeah, that makes it sound like just the way it's phrased, it's past tense. It's not this was made last year.
Or a few
Yeah.
years ago.
He's saying the
It's
same thing I'm
probably
thinking.
been a decent while. We can definitely
least
assume
5
from
years,
this
I'd say.
information that this is taking place in the mid to late 1980s. From the sounds of the newspaper from the community post, it seems that Dan and Luke were pretty respected individuals in the local Grandwood community. Not only that, but if they were generally responsible for producing a local puppet show, it's no wonder that they'd be able to land the role of recording the candlelight service. I think they did this intentionally to gain access to the church's basement, which clearly had something in it. What was down there? Well, it could have been anything. We
Probably
couldn't
Jersey
exactly
Devil.
see what was going on. The strangest part about this whole sequence is that there's a lot of information that's blatantly not being given to us. Luke seems to have been oblivious to what Dan was taking him down into the basement to see. They also seem to have a more complicated relationship than what we get to see from an outside perspective.
The basement door is over there.
I hate you so much.
Be quiet.
Holy shit!
Be quiet.
Dan also
I mean, it doesn't sound like there's like hate there. I mean, he's saying I hate you, but I feel like it's more of a playful hatred. It's not like a real hatred, you know? Like when somebody does something annoying, you're just like, I hate you. Like, yeah, he's gonna say that. You just got dragged down into the basement of a church. And he's just hearing weird-ass noises down there. Like, I believe that they're not... I mean, they're probably, like, co-workers, decent acquaintances, maybe work friends. They're at least creatively collaborative, but... doesn't sound like they have a really complicated relationship. I mean, maybe Luke didn't know what was in the basement, but I don't know.
Seemed pretty convinced that whatever he was looking at, he would be able to deal with it using only whatever weapon he had on him, which clearly was not the case.
Sounded like
With
a
an
shotgun.
astounding amount of unknowns, this basement scene is definitely the most mysterious thing left within White Stag at this point in time.
Oh, you mean the black screen where we can only hear audio and not see any visual? That's the most mysterious part? Huh. I thought it was when they were spelling everything out for me.
Arguably an even bigger mystery, though, is the one event left on our timeline that seems all but guaranteed to happen sometime in the future. The landing of Ledger's Comet in Barnegat Township, New Jersey.
This doesn't
If
seem...
this event is anywhere near as important...
Wait, where's Barnegat? Barnegat. Let me do this over here. I realized if I press the directions, it's not gonna... Okay, so let's see. Pine Barrens, Pemberton Town, Ship, New Jersey. That's only a half hour away. It's only a half hour away. It's a 24 mile drive. Interesting. So it's not even really... It doesn't really feel connected to the cult in the park at all.
Important as the other two that were predicted by Intuitain fueled visions, then I'd say that it's gonna be pretty crazy once it actually happens in the series. And with that, our series timeline, as of now, is complete.
Yeah, and there hasn't been an upload in 10 months. I think they're done.
Obscure analog horror series that have been popping up over the past year or two, I think it goes without saying White Stag is definitely near the top of my list. I'll be keeping this one on my radar, and I think you all should as well. There's also many other neat, not as popular series like Arcadia and Milton Math Games that I could definitely cover in the future as well. Let me know if you enjoy analog horror content and would like me to make more. Finally, of course,
I thought it was real, man. I thought this shit was real when I clicked on it, and I mean, I know I could have scrolled down to the description. I thought I was gonna... I thought I was gonna start seeing... like, creepy-ass shit. It'd make me fearful of going into a national park, but no! No, I'm not scared of national parks at all. Instead, I'm just trying to figure out how far away Bargate Township is from fucking Pine Barrens. It's definitely interesting, though. It seems like a cool series, but I don't really know if it needed a deep half-hour-long analysis, you know? It's also really, I just want to pat myself on the back. I was able to take a 40-minute video and turn it into 2 hours of content. So, you're welcome? Question mark? Let me figure out this cult in Yellowstone National Park, though. True scary. Okay. This story I'm about to tell... Wait. I'm about to tell only a few people close to me have ever heard. However, I never actually explained it in detail, what happened that night, to absolutely anyone. For this story specifically, it is necessary to explain my general area I live in. Oh my god, this is written so fucking poorly. Dude, just like... Can you figure out what a period is? For this story specifically, it is necessary to explain my general area I live in as it pertains to this event. I live next to Yellowstone National Park, which in of itself has drawn millions of tourists each year. Part of the reason I'm writing this is merely a warning to people who decide to visit during the summer months. That's when I visited. Last year, in the summer of 2020, me and some of my buddies decided to go have a night out, do some camping near a spot we have been to multiple times in the past. After all, this is right after things started to become normal again and lockdowns were lifted. Summer of 2020. No. It's like when lockdowns were put in place. What the fuck are you talking about? Anyways, I decided to head up to the camp spot early in an effort to make sure my gear was still set up from earlier that day. I did this as an effort to reserve the spot as it's first come, first served. Therefore, with everything in hand, I left my house right before sunset. We were all supposed to meet up within the hour, so I didn't really have any concerns of being by myself. I then began my 30-minute drive up to the location. When I finally arrived, I immediately noticed my tent and everything inside was gone. The fuck? Now, just for some context, I staked the tent down in multiple areas just to be sure it stayed for the period I was gone. Inside was my sleeping bag and a few other miscellaneous items I left just to keep it weighed down. However, everything, literally everything, disappeared as if it was never there. Holy shit, it sounds like your stuff got stolen. I looked around and even the stakes and rocks I placed on the outside were missing. Dude, somebody stole your fucking tent. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I immediately knew something was wrong because I did not see any campers on the way up. Dude, come on. Also, keep in mind, I do not have cell service as it's a couple miles back into the wilderness. There is no cell service in Yellowstone. Just right off the bat. I wasn't able to get cell service in any of the national parks. I then decided to drive back down from where I came to get service and get a hold of my friends and let them know what happened. Least to say, I was not happy with the situation and knew that whoever took my belongings were still in the area as it had only been there for an hour or two. You can get pretty far in an hour or two. However, my friends insisted that I stayed and at least to hang out for a few hours as it took weeks of planning. Fair. So once I made sure everyone arrived, I then decided to go around the area in search of any sign of footprints or indication that maybe these people were close by. As you can guess, I wasn't able to find anything. I eventually played it off and decided I would just look for it in the morning and contact the Forest Service to report it missing. I also didn't want to ruin the party for everyone and decided to stay. In hindsight, this was by far the worst decision I could have ever made. As the night went on, everything seemed fine. So I thought. Around 1 or 2 in the morning, most of my friends decided to call it a night. I ended up sleeping in my truck. This was perhaps one of the better decisions that I made that night. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it. I just saw the ad start.
Woke up this morning, got some gabagoo. And then I woke up the next day and got some gabagoo. Keep waking up and keep getting different types of gabagoo. I even got some gabagoo from Scooby. Woke up this morning, made an entire video game based on the Sopranos television series. Woke up this morning, got myself a sub. I believe Tony wanted a meatball sub. I think Paulie said that he wanted the ham and Swiss.
Classic. Now you guys may not know this about me, but I'm a
Oh, is
Bigfoot
this
head.
the
Okay? I'm a
Zapruder
big
film?
Bigfoot guy. I even have.
Not the Zapruder film. The Zapruder film is JFK getting his fucking dome blown off. We're gonna survive this. Stay with me, okay? Look me in the eyes. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be. Calm down. It's gonna be okay. Don't panic.
8 minutes. Yeah. Don't point your fucking gun at me when I'm trying not to panic.
Why are you freaking out over there? You okay, little robot? I didn't really care. I just wanted a reason to kill it. Whoop. Alright, ad's over. Let's just fucking run it. So where was I? Oh, I even marked it. So, around 1 or 2 in the morning, most of my friends decided to call it a night. I ended up sleeping in in my truck. This was perhaps one of the better decisions that I made this night. That, along with always making sure to bring my bear spray and sidearm for protection from unexpected guests. I eventually fell asleep. However, it's important to note that I was still a bit on edge, as only a couple hours before all of my belongings were taken. I decided to leave my window rolled down a bit just in case I heard anything creep up on us in the middle of the night. After about 2 hours of me being asleep, my worst nightmare came true. At first, I just heard something move around outside of our camp. This was enough noise to wake me up, and I immediately froze and didn't move whatsoever. Therefore, this was partially because I knew whatever was making the noise was large, not just a raccoon or any smaller creature. I then was paralyzed just listening intently to whatever was happening outside of our camp. My first thought was that it was a bear. We also had sightings recently in the area. At one point, I swear it could have only been maybe 20 to 30 yards away. Also, another key point I noticed was that there was absolutely no other noises. Usually there's grasshoppers or birds, but it was complete and utter silence. Now, in a wilderness, that's never a good sign. It means there's a large predator or something of the like in the area. Meanwhile, it's pitch black outside and our fire had completely gone out. After about 15 minutes of not hearing anything, I decided I just needed to stop being paranoid. But just as I was about to fall back asleep, I saw something right to the right of our campsite. It was just a few yards away from our fire pit and probably about 20 yards from me. To my absolute horror, it was a person. I immediately freaked. What the fuck? Why is that weird? This was no average person either, let alone the fact that it's 3 or 4 in the morning and you're in someone's campsite. This person was wearing what I made out to be some kind of mask. I got a very good look at whoever it was, and it was a deer skull on their face. They were wearing a black robe, and that's about all I noticed. I sure didn't want to leave my truck and confront this person, so I did what I thought was best. Turned my truck on and began honking the horn until all of my friends were awake. I rolled down the window and told them that we need to get out of here immediately. After seeing what I saw, then did exactly that. What? I assume he means to say after seeing what I saw, they did exactly that. Meanwhile, this person hasn't moved, mind you. Just as I thought it was bad, the situation got even worse. More of these figures began appearing in front of us through the trees, wearing the same outfits mentioned as earlier, but with multiple different masks. I immediately put my truck into reverse and began speeding away. They began walking closer and closer, but luckily I was able to drive out of the spot in time. As I began to speed down the road out of there, 3 more of these figures appeared out from the side of my truck. Whoa, what the fuck? What does that mean? Were they in the truck? Or are they just like coming out on the side of the road as you're passing? Still freaky. As I began to speed down the road, more of these figures appeared out from the side of my truck. This time, with a dog and way more aggressive than the previous ones I saw. They began throwing rocks at my truck and chasing after me. At one point, they were literally right next to my passenger window until I accelerated even more and eventually lost them. As I looked back in my mirror, I saw only one figure left, just simply peeking and staring at me behind a tree. This image is forever seared into my head. From this night on, I refused to go back up there. I've never, ever spoke of this to anyone. Even when I was around my friends that experienced this, we never mentioned it to each other. It's been over a year now since this happened, and well, all I can really say is that I believe these people were in some sort of cult. Yeah, no shit, man. Really? Black robes, different masks, middle of the woods. Huh. Yeah, I wonder what they could be. I wonder who they're tied to. It's been over a year now since this happened, and well, all I can say is that I believe these people were in some sort of cult. I've heard other stories about similar events happening, and even cattle completely disappearing. It's very barbaric, and You wouldn't think that such a beautiful national park that attracts so many people year-round would have such a dark, disturbing secrets. My advice to anyone that decides to travel to these mysterious and preserved parts of intrinsic beauty would be to always bring protection of some kind. Likewise, make sure you let others know about your plans and never go alone. There are hundreds of missing person reports across the national parks inside the United States. I could have very well been one of them if I had stayed just a few minutes longer. Nature has a way to attract very different types of people. Some want to explore and push themselves to their limits. Meanwhile, some simply don't want to be seen and lurk in the darkness of night. A former Green Beret once told me the key to survival was always being more aware of your surroundings and listening to your instincts. If a particular situation doesn't feel right, chances are it's not. Stay safe, everyone. Okay. Can I be honest? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. You literally copied this from a Let's Read video. I watched it today. What? I don't know. I don't really buy it. Maybe it's real, but this is... It's written too... I don't want to say well, because it's not well written. But it does seem... creative, may I say? It does seem a bit creative. But who am I to judge? Who am I to say what's real or not? Anyways, am I ready for this? Here, let's pull this up. Excuse me. Getting everything pulled up, don't worry. Alright, now I gotta edit this. Alright, get that switched over. Alright. So what we got going on now is I'm going to be playing a little bit of trivia from TriviaCreator. Just to prove I'm smart. I'm going to play trivia to prove I'm smart. I don't know where to start, though. Where do I start? What do I start with? How about the map pack quiz? Let's play the map pack quiz. So there's solo, 1v1, live challenge, live group competition. Let's do live group competition. I want to host and play. Okay. I guess that's how that works. So first place has 140. Second place has 100 less than... Okay, so Demi 100% cheated, yeah? we can all agree on this, right? There's no way Demi was able to do that well, you know? I don't believe it one bit. But I'll start here. What is the name of the second studio of my Irish boy band one direct? What? I don't know. Take Me Home? Wait, how do I couldn't select. I'm sorry, what? I'm confused. What is going on? What is happening here? This is not what I want to play. This is not what I want to play. I'm trying to fix it. There we go. Alright. There. I'll do the Matt Pat trivia. When is Matt Pat's birthday? I don't fucking know. November. He seems like a... I was gonna say, he seems like a November guy, you know? What is Matt Pat's middle name? Bro's the whitest guy on Earth. No way it's not Phineas. Robert's pretty white, too. Where is Matt Pat born? He doesn't have enough Mormon glaze to be from Utah. He gives me Mr. Beast energy. Ohio? Matt Pat is an only child. I don't fucking know. False. Probably has like a sister. Nope. What university did Matt Pat graduate from? I don't see him at Purdue. I don't think he would go to Texas just because, look at him. Maybe Duke? Oh my god. Wait, how old's Matt Pat? Hold on, stop. Matt Pat age. 37. Cody Co age. 33. I mean, they could have been in school together. Oof. Start. In addition to theater, what did Matt Pat major in at university? I don't know, probably fucking math, right? Neuroscience! Damn, he could have not done game theory. After graduation, Matt Pat moved to blank to fulfill his dreams of becoming an actor. It's LA, right? It has to be LA. Where else would you go? You don't go anywhere. New York? Oh, he's a theater kid. He's a theater kid. The first ever game theory video was about which of the following. Submit your answer. I didn't even choose. It's a Chrono Trigger. Didn't let me choose. Am I correct? Am I correct in my non-answer? I guess so. What is Matt Pat's wife's name? They have two versions of like, the same name. So it's got to be like Stella, right? Stephanie? What? What is Matt Pat's son's name? Bro, if they named him Orville, I'm gonna lose my shit. They better not have named that motherfucker Orville. Please don't be Orville. I'm begging for it's Oliver. Okay, thank God it's not Orville. What was the name of Matt Pat's series on YouTube Premium? It was, not Deadlock. That was... Isn't Deadlock a different YouTuber? Game Lab. Is it possible to join? I don't know if you can join at this point. I did start at 11 questions ago. This game lab. I selected that. He gave Undertale, right? He gave Undertale to Pope? What was the name of MatPat's character in Five Nights at Freddy's? He was just a waiter, though, right? I don't know, probably fucking Ness. Nerd, of course. Diet Coke? Seems like a Diet Coke guy. Just gives me Diet Coke vibes, you know? What instrument did MatPat play in high school? I don't know, I didn't go to high school with him. Cello, trombone, oboe, viola. Probably an oboe dork. Or trombone. Viola? Okay. Some respect for him. Matt is a test tube baby. Yeah, sure. He looks like he came out of a test tube. I'm sorry, that was mean. That wasn't like anything against his... He just like, he has the... He just gives me like made in a lab vibe. Good Mythical Morning episode. Okay. What is MatPat's favorite ice cream flavor? Dude, it better be cookies and cream. S'mores? What is MatPat's least favorite game theory episode? Probably the Markiplier video. Why is that his least favorite? MatPat believes which of the following games is overrated. I hope it's this one. What? Crash Bandicoot he thinks is overrated? What's MatPat's favorite movie? If it's not Alien, I hope it's Star Wars, because if it's either of these, that's insane. Are you serious? You're telling me this motherfucker's favorite movie of all time is Guardians of the Galaxy? What? Is Control. Insights. Does any of that do? Oh, Control. Alright, which quiz is next? We did the MatPat quiz. What did I get on it, though? What was my, 57? It's not bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's insane. He chose Guardians of the Galaxy over Alien. Console quiz? Where do you see console quiz? This one? Console quiz. Console. Okay. Which console? What about console? Release dates? Console gaming history? Gotta be a little more specific than just a quiz about consoles. Guess the retro game console from the controller. We can do this one. Okay. So this is how you can join. Just the pin. If you want to join the quiz, go ahead and put the pin in. And if you don't want to join the quiz, don't put the pin in. You can't see it. 146619. That's not what I wanted to do. Here you go. There's a link. I think if you click that, you might be able to join. We'll see. Gorilla Tag Quiz, TriviaCreator. What is Gorilla? What? That was fucking weird. Okay. For some reason, that was the wrong... I don't understand what's going on and why it just opens random quizzes sometimes. Here's the correct link. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. But if you click that, the real link that I just sent, the second one, you can join through that. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know why I just opened up a random-ass quiz like that, though. Is it just going to do that every time I want to play a quiz? Because that's annoying. Alright. I'm waiting for players to join. Waiting for anyone to join. 336-924. It's the second link. Second link in chat. I'll even pin it. It's the pinned message. Here we go. Does it tell me when players join, or is it just gonna sit there? How do I know if there's other people? Will like other things pop up? 336-924, and you can join. 336-924. Just give us a call at 336-924. You joined? Alright. See if anybody else wants to join. Because I'm not sure... I'm not sure when it tells me. I'm not sure when it tells me, so I'll just give it... I'll give it another minute. 336-924. Alright. I think I'm ready to start. Guess the retro game console from the controller. And it won't let me start it. Why? Why? There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Why won't... What is going on? Why would it not load it? That was weird. I'm somehow already ahead, though. Yeah, what the fuck could this be? I wonder. God, I'm too good. I'm too good. I'm unstoppable. I'm too fucking good. I'm already up to 107. Your boy knows video games. What can I say? What the fuck? Actually, I know what that exactly is. Yeah. Hell yeah, I know what that is. Did I get every single question right? Besides the first one, because it wouldn't let me? Oh my god. I did, and I would have gotten the first one too if it had let me answer. God damn. Let's do the ultimate gaming trivia quiz. There we go. And if I continue, it looks like if I continue the game, it will. All right. Anybody else wants to join? New link. All right. Anybody else wants to join? That's how you do it. All right, I guess I can I can remove myself. I don't think I want to play anymore. Gone. 447-333. 447-333. Just give us a call at 447-333. Why is the Me Shop music so fucking good? There, I posted it on Reddit too, in case anybody else wants to join up. But I'll just start it off right now. The ultimate gaming trivia quiz. God damn it, and it's gonna do the thing where it's not. There we go. Indian Celeste was in. Mark. I don't fucking know. I never played Celeste. I've never played Celeste in my entire fucking life. What is this guy's name? Madeline. Yeah, I got the M right. What is the main objective of Super Meat Boy in the game? Rescues girlfriend. Yeah. What provides the codex of the underworld to what even Zagreus and Hades? Tim the Tool Man Taylor. I don't fucking know. Achilles. Oh. It's the primary objective of the boy in limbo. Maybe? I don't know. It's been a while since I played Limbo. I was right. What can I say? Who developed The Binding of Isaac? I don't fucking know. I'm gonna select everybody. Bound to get it right that way. Somebody's gotta be named. Oh, okay. I've heard the name Toby Fox before. What's the main character's name in Fez? Fez. Am I right? I've never even fucking heard of Fez. Gomez. Alright, I guess. Got balls of steel. Let's get this party started. Let's rock and roll. I'm here to save the I thought it was about chewing bubblegum and kicking ass. I've got balls of steel. Is that what he sounds like? Is that what he says? I've got balls of steel. That doesn't sound... Oh, okay, I guess it's right. What's that? I thought it was about chewing bubblegum and kicking ass. Guess the game from this image. It's Quake. It's Quake. For sure, yeah? It's gotta be. I've never played Quake. Okay. The fuck is Unreal Tournament? Who's the main protagonist in Wolfenstein The New Order? I don't know. Sammy Davis Jr. Looks a lot like Sammy Davis Jr., so I'm really hoping, fingers crossed. Oh, please. What? In Bioshock, what resources did you gather from the genetically modified children? Argo. I don't know. I don't know if I played Bioshock. Played Bioshock Infinite. I don't think that's what this question's about. Adam. Okay, guess. How many Call of Duty's titles are released until 2024? It's got to be the bigger number. It's got to be 21. There's no way that's under 20. They've been popping out a game every single year since, like, 2005. Fuck yeah. I glitched out. What weapon do you get in CS 1.6 while playing Terrorist by pressing B14? I don't know. Terrorists seem like they would have, like, dual Berettas. It's also Beretta spelled wrong. Isn't Beretta spelled with an E? Of course, it's a Desert fucking Eagle. Who is the main protagonist of the original Castlevania game? I don't know, it kind of looks like Conan the Barbarian. Who the fuck is this guy? He's got a whip? Indiana Jones, maybe? Is Indiana Jones the the guy from Castlevania? Simon. What is this SNES superhero called? Boogerman, maybe? It's gotta be Boogerman. SNES? I mean, I hope it's Boogerman. It's either Billy Booger or Boogerman. Boogerman. Why? Who's the main antagonist in the original? It's Shao Kahn. Yeah? Yeah? Please. I know he's one of the villains. Or am I thinking of the movie? Fuck! Shang Tsung. God damn it. What company developed Michael Jordan, Chaos, and Windy City? Probably Activision. They do a lot of sports, yeah? It's either that or EA. I can't change it now, so it's definitely Activision. I'm going Activision all the way. And it was EA. Alright. Which SNES game is often credited with defining the action RPG genre? Final Fantasy wasn't SNES. It would have had to have been Zelda. It's gotta be. Okay, yeah. I think Final Fantasy was PlayStation. What was the name of this classic NES game? Bro, I can barely see what this is. Combat Evolved? Or is that... Oh, wait, no, that's a Halo game. Battle City. Okay. Name of the town from Heroes of Might and Magic. Bro, I don't know. I've never even heard of this game. Doesn't look like a necropolis. I don't know why getting closer to the screen makes me think I'm gonna answer better. What strategy... What? What was the expansion pack called for Command and Conquer Red Alert 2? Cold War pack? Smoking that Cold War pack? Yuri's Revenge. Okay. What year was the original Homeworld game released? I've never heard of this. 1999. No, 2001. The thing looks too good for 90s. Maybe it's like a GameCube game or something. 1999, fuck you. What was the game? What game allowed you to mix different animal species into one? StarCraft? I don't know. Could like sci-fi StarCraft would make sense. Genetically engineer animals, yeah, maybe. Impossible, you know, that does make sense. Kind of is all in the name. What is the Lich King's real name? Who the fuck is the Lich King? Stormwind. That's a pretty badass name. Alright, and it's the least badass name there. Okay, I guess. Which hero character can lead the Fellowship and wield Arondur in the game Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth? Probably Aragorn, right? Aragorn was like the big breakout guy besides Legolas. Yeah, alright, that makes sense. What company is this? This is Insomniac, yeah? I feel like I've seen that before. It's not Square Enix, that's for sure. But I don't think I've ever seen Santa Monica or Arcane's logo. That's what I thought. I've seen that before, Spider-Man. What company won the most game awards? From Software made the Dark Souls games, right? They're behind like the Souls-likes. It's gotta be them. It's either them or Nintendo. No way Naughty Dog is getting that achievement. Yeah, I should have gone with Nintendo. What game is the game that is most responsible for establishing the Battle Royale genre? Fortnite. I feel like this is an opinionated question for sure. If it's PUBG, you're out of your mind. I can maybe see DayZ. You're out of your fucking mind. What is the stream name of the guy in the picture? I don't know who this is. I don't know. Probably a pedo, though. I don't know who that fucking guy is. I'm sorry if he's not a pedo. That's just I have to operate with that assumption when thinking about content creators. What year was Cyberpunk 2077 announced? 2007. I'll go with the earliest one. Yeah, if I go with the earliest... And it's 2012. I thought if I went with the earliest one, like, that would make sense. The main character of the Halo... False. Master Sergeant. Master Sergeant, how are you doing today? That's like some shit Elon Musk would tweet out about the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is what Master Sergeant from Halo would drive. Okay, I think Robin 2 beats me, just because since I continued from the last game. I don't truly know my point system. Let's do an Adventure Time quiz. I'll refresh. All right. Let me copy this. And I did that wrong. There we go. Pin that message for 2 minutes. You want this guy gone? The imposter. Get rid of the imposter. Alright. Leave that there for a second or two. Let it catch up a bit. I don't know if, I don't know if I'm gonna do well on this. It's been a hot minute since I've watched Adventure Time. It's been like 2 years. And I was just kind of watching it in the background. I just liked having it on. Alright, let's start. Who is this character? Finn. What's Adventure Time? You don't know what Adventure Time is? It's an anime. It was a animated show. Finn, Jake. He would suck off the dog sometimes. I understand why it was canceled, you know? They had quite a lot of scenes like that. What's the name of this character's kingdom? Dude, this is easy. This is the easiest quiz I've ever done in my life. What happens if this character bites you? You get the lumps. You get the lumps. Lumpy Space Princess gives you the lumps. Who is this character before he received the Ice Crown? Simple Simon. I knew his name was Simon. I didn't realize he went by Simple Simon. Him and Marceline were friends. Yeah, I'm clued in. I know my shit. I know my Adventure Time lore. I didn't know he went by Simple... No! What the fuck is going on? What the shit? What's the meaning of this shit? I didn't click anything. Why do I have to live with... Where do I have to live with this answer? Am I right, though? I think I was. How old is this character in her first appearance? She's 1006. That's not what I clicked. Who is this character's creator? I don't know, Mo? That's what the... What episode was this big boy introduced? Cherry cream soda. I don't know. I don't know the episode titles. What does this character keep in case of emergency? Vampire kit. What episode was scrapped of this character played as a riddle master? I don't know. A Tower of Bone? I don't know. It's a scrapped episode. What? I'm not in this. I'm not in this game. I'm not in that game. Huh. Weird. I'm lagging. Okay. I'm sorry. PC overheating. Okay, stop playing. Who the fuck is this guy? I don't want to... Why am I here? I just want to do the animal quiz. I just want to do the animal quiz. Alright. If anybody else wants to join, here you go. Pin it for... God, motherfucker, damn it. And I closed out of everything. I don't even understand how that works. Makes no goddamn sense. What is happening today? And it's all gone. That's not it. It's all gone. God damn. 2 in a row. That's impressive. That's really impressive. Okay, let's see. Are you guys real people? Or are you guys bots? Because if you're real people, I do want to tell you to, like, go kill yourselves. But if you're bots, it's just kind of useless. I'll ban you either way, but I hope you're real people so that my words can, like, affect you, you know? Does that make sense? Where the fuck did it all go? There we go. We have the Guess the Animal quiz. Jesus Christ. What is this? Toucan. I'm glad this is super easy. What animal is this? Cat. God, I'm so good. Animal is this? Turtle. Which kind of fly? This is a pigeon, right? Fuck! It was a crab? A red panda, like from Turning Red. Queening panda. I think they're all right, except for that one. I don't know what that is. Damn. I was hoping I could copy and paste it beforehand. I guess it's a dog. Just a dog. Doesn't even tell me, like, it's not even gonna try and tell me the breed. Animal is this? Koala. God, I'm too good. Too good. Rhino. Whoops. Rhino. I almost selected dinosaur. It's a sloth. How many questions are there? 17? Man, I'm flying through these. Raccoon. Trash panda. Aw, man, come on. That's gotta count. What animal is this? Cow. Easy. What animal is that? It's a T-Rex, idiot. Gorilla. Tiger. They weren't kidding when they said this was super easy. This is like a children's picture book. Possum. Why did Okay, that genuinely was a mistake on my part. My brain saw possum. Just immediately, like, I had no motor control. Animated X-Men series quiz. Who the fuck is this guy? Why am I in this guy's game? Console release. That's not okay. That's not even what I wanted. Start a new game. There we go. There we go. All right, there it is. All right, start the quiz. Yeah, yeah. Who attacked Jubilee the night she first met the X-Men? The Morlocks. Sentinel, of fucking course. That was the first thing I chose too. Which of these X-Men wanted to get rid of their mutant powers? Rogue. Because she kills people by touching them. Who did Bishop think assassinated Senator Kelly? Mystique. Gambit? Alright. Who tried to replace Senator Kelly's brain with a computer? Forge? Master Mold. I don't know who these people are. We're Mr. Sinister's henchmen? The Horsemen. Nasty Boys. Oh no, Apocalypse's henchmen are the Horsemen. Where's Storm from? I think it's there. Mount Kilimanjaro. Okay. She's from the top of a mountain. What group was Wolverine a member of before the X-Men? Alpha Flight. See, I know that because it's not specific to that. That was it? That was the whole quiz? How fast can we do this Harry Potter quiz? And that's not what I chose at all. How do I get back to the Hogwarts? Oh my god. I want to host and play. Let me host and play. Alright. Unpin. Copy. I'll pin that for 2 minutes. Alright. 929-233. 929-233. Start it up. First off, who were the Marauders? Severus... No, Snape wasn't part of it. It was Lupin, Pettigrew, James, Sirius. What animagus form did James Potter turn into? A wolf? A stag? I thought that was... Okay. I thought those lilies. What magical artifact did they create? Magical map. I have it. What does one need to say in order... I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. I sincerely declare that I am up to no good. What order were the nicknames presented in? It was Moody, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs? Holy shit, did I get that right? Dumbledore knew about the map not long after the Marauders created it. False. I'm pretty sure he didn't know about it until, you know, the book where it appears. Apart from the Marauders, which other characters had their... Fred and George... Barty Crouch... Harry Potter... Ooh, I didn't know Filch had it. When did the Marauders start school? I don't fucking know. 1968? Why would I know that? They were all in Gryffindor. Which of them was a hat stall? I don't know what that means. I don't know what hat stall means. Who are the Marauders' arch nemesis? Snape. Just like always. Because of course it is. What did James and Sirius often call Severus? Severus Snake? Snibbolus, maybe? Snibbolus. I don't know. When Severus tried to reveal the map, what insult did Padfoot throw at him? He was asked to keep his abnormally large nose. No. Damn it. Which school year did James, Sirius, and Peter manage to become animagi? 4th? 5th. Okay. Dumbledore knew about them becoming... No. Pretty sure just Dumbledore does not know what the fuck is going on in his school at any point in time. One thing Willow has a special connection to one of the Marauders. To whom? Is it Lupin? I don't know why, but it's probably Lupin. Probably pisses on it. And for what reason did it have a connection to Lupus? Carries the ingredients for his Wolfbane's potion, easing his transformation to guard a passage to the street. Oh, that. I remember that. Which one of Sirius, Remus, and Peter was the last one to see James before he died? Peter. Because he sold him out, yeah? He sold him out? Which one of them was first planned to be James and Lily's secret keeper? It's gotta be Sirius, yeah? Of course, he's Harry's godfather. But for what reason did James and Lily choose to keep Peter as their secret keeper? Because he would be the person nobody would expect, yeah? Which of Ron's brothers owned Scabbers? Percy. Because he's the only one not in school. Or I guess it could have been Charlie. Which Marauder once said, for the first time ever, I had friends. 3 great friends. Lupin? Because he's a dog. Which Marauder saved Sirius' life at one point? Severus' life at one point. James? That makes sense. Which owl exam were the Marauders taking when Harry dived into one of Severus' memories in Book 5? Transfiguration. Fuck! Alright, cool. The same memory, which one of the... Just a full body bind curse on Severus. Seems like a James Potter thing. Never mind. Marauders became a prefect. What does prefect mean? Is it Sirius Black? Lupin. I don't know what prefect means. James was Quidditch captain. He was head boy. Peter covered his right index finger. Okay, I was very wrong. This spell has been confirmed to have been used to creation. The revealing charm? The homunculus charm. What? How? What order did the Marauders die? I think Wormtail is last. I was wrong. Okay. Boop. In order to conceal the contents of the Marauders map, what does one have to say? Should have managed. Hey! Alright, which ones did I get wrong? It doesn't tell me which ones were right, though. God damn it. God damn it. Alright. Alright, then. Keep your secrets. But I've been streaming for 3 hours now. I think it's time to be wrapping it up. I didn't even realize an ad break was going on. So yeah, it's time for me to go. Goodbye.